Hey guys, JCraft24 here, and today I've got a new video for you. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Bachmann Spectrum Baldwin Modern 440, which is a Spectrum locomotive, in case you can't tell by the Spectrum logo. This locomotive MSRP is for a whopping $539, but I paid $95 for this locomotive. So definitely big deals out there on this locomotive. So let's take a look at what you get with this Spectrum locomotive, Spectrum 440, starting right now. The first thing to notice about this locomotive when you get it is that it comes in a red Bachmann Spectrum box, which is with very protective packaging around the locomotive. Now, on the bottom of the box, it has the Spectrum philosophy, or whatever it says. I don't know if you can see it because of lighting in here, but it says, at its very core, the Spectrum philosophy is to produce highest quality products at an affordable price. Built by railroaders for railroaders, you can count on Bachmann's premier Spectrum line to deliver the finest in railroading enjoyment. And on the side you have the item number, which is the tag on it, which is item number 80104, HO Baldwin Modern 440 Loco DCC Seaboard 108, which is the locomotive we have here. So let's go ahead and get this locomotive out of its plastic box cage. You just lift this up here. It reveals the locomotive, and right here, and it says lift insert sheet for more additional information about product, which we will do in a moment here. But this is pretty much in here tight. I'm not gonna lie. It's of course good. We want it to be in there tight so we can see it. It comes in this kind of block of ice sort of thing. In terms of packaging, as the locomotive, we're going to put that to the side for now. I'm going to take up the bottom sheet here. It has a Mountain steam locomotive and an Amtrak P40 on it, so I can show you. And you get some paperwork to do with the locomotive. So I'm just going to open this up. First things first, you got a advertisement for a catalog, a 352-page catalog, the Bachmann and Williams, which is Bachmann's O scale line. Warranty card, just fill that in and fill that out and send it into Bachmann to get a warranty. Important notice for all the ECC locomotives, just talks about radio suppression. You get 2 sheets of warranty info on this one. I don't know why 2 instead of just the 1, which is in with most of my other ones, but 2. And I looked over into the exact same, so yeah. And then you got a huge instruction manual and exploded parts diagram. Like, this is challenging the decapod for exploded parts diagrams. I don't know if I can get the whole thing in shot, but there it is for you people who like to take things apart and look at them, like me. So if you're like me and like to take things apart, then mess with things, you know, or look at how things work. And, you know, the exploded parts diagram is one of the most interesting parts to look at. So, I'm going to put this aside for now. I'm going to put that aside over here for now, and let's get the locomotive out. So it's in this little plastic sheath covering the actual block of ice. So if we just pull that away, and then if there's a clip here on the side, pull that up, and you have access to the locomotive. So you got a couple detail packs. We got, there appears to be some blanking chips that you can put inside the tender. So if you don't want to run this on DCC, you can run it on analog. Kind of pointless since these locomotives are backwards compatible, but you know, it's whatever. A bag of fake coal to put in the tender. Once again, kind of pointless because it has exquisite coal detail in the tender, but you know, it's there if you want it. I also got in this bag some spare trucks and wheels to put in the locomotive to fit. And in this one you got some other parts that you can take off that you can put on this locomotive, like a steam dome, a sand dome, a what is that? I don't know what that is, and a cow catcher. Another pilot. So let's go ahead and get this beautiful 440 locomotive out. Should we start with the tender? I think we should start with the tender. Ooh, look at that. Very stunning tender. Very beautiful. I like this tender. I really do. And look, there's even braking detail. But it's got nothing. This tender has nothing. And I mean nothing on the detail of the locomotive. Oh, it's not really heavy, but just look at this thing. It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. Look at it. Definitely going to be taking a look at this in more detail in a moment here. Actually, we're not even going to do it in a moment. We're going to do it right now. I'm too excited. Let's go. I couldn't find any history on the modern 440, so I'm just going to go over the history on the 440 wheel arrangement in general. So, these locomotives were first built by the U.S. in the United States of America in April of 1872. They were given the nickname Americans. American as the locomotive class name, like the 484s were called Northerns and stuff like that. Name like that. So, they were so successful that in England, they built 440 tank engines, but of course, we do not see this here in the U.S., I do not believe. The first 440s could not go any faster than, could move 450 short tons at 15 miles an hour, which is quite a bit for the locomotives of the time, of course. And of course, every railroad in the USA has operated a 440 somewhere in their lifetime. And that pretty much is the same over in England. Now, I can't speak for other areas, but I know countries like Australia had them, Finland had them, New Zealand, South Africa, and a bunch of rail countries around the world had this design, used this design, but mostly in the U.S. and Canada. Not Canada, England. Even though I'm sure Canada did have some. So yeah, there's your history on the 440. They were kind of built up until the end of steam. So yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at this beautiful Bachmann Spectrum locomotive in detail. Okay, so there's just so much detail on this locomotive, I cannot possibly cover it all in a short video. But I'm gonna do the best I can, and you'll see why. Now, one thing I want to say about this engine is it is die-cast metal. Everything on it is die-cast metal, except for some of the separately fitted parts. But the body and cab the boiler cab is all die-cast. So I feel like I should point that out. And when you hold this locomotive in your hand, you can definitely feel that. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so starting off, we have a dummy coupler cut lever with some separately applied steps on the ground, and the cow catcher that is removable, and you can replace it with the other cow catcher that's included in the box, if you want to, of course. Up here we've got a separately applied grab iron on the smoke box door with some separately applied marker lights and a separately applied number board on the locomotive's front. Of course, we got a separately fitted headlight up on top. In the beginning of the two separately applied handrails that go down the side. Got some separately applied handrails down here too. that will allow crews to get up on top of the walkways. As we begin to move down the side of the locomotive, you can see the continuation of the handrails that go down the entire side of the locomotive. Also have a legible builder's plate right here. Some separately applied walkways that goes down the boiler with no safety tread, but I bet in the early 1900s they probably didn't have safety tread on these things. Now I could be wrong on that. Never take anything I say as fact, unless it's for these things. You got a unless it's for the details, of course. You got a very nice looking cylinder with the course of drive gear coming out of it. You've also got a separately applied cord that goes down from the sand dome down to the wheels to lay sand on the track so it can get grip in the ice. Of course, we got another separately applied pipe or whatever that goes down the side, and a separately applied air tank that I think it's an air tank right here underneath the walkway. So that's pretty nice. Got some separately applied air compressors here that look amazingly beautiful. I mean, I can't even describe these things. And a few separately applied vacuum hoses that go down the side of the cab. We have a I feel like I should mention this, but the bell on top, which is separately fitted, of course, has a pull string that goes to it. The whistle does too, and I'll show you that when I flip this locomotive around. But this has a bell that has a pull cord. None of my other engines have this. You can see it's actual string too. It's beautiful. So yeah, let's go ahead and then of course we have some more separately applied piping and stuff down the side. If we move on to the cab, you see that the engine's number is 108 SAL, or Seaboard Airline Railway Company, which is pretty nice that they have some locomotive information. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other side. As we can, a lot of the detail on this side is about the same as the other side. So we're not going to spend as much time. Of course, you got the separately fitted piping. And up on top of the steam dome, you got some separately fitted safety valves here, here, and here, and a separately applied whistle with, once again, a pull cord going from it. I cannot get past that pull cord. And of course, once again, Seaboard Railway Company on the side of the cab. Up on top, we can see all the separately fitted stuff, including the sand dome, steam dome, bell, dynamo, and a roof vent, which is kind of permanently opened here, but whatever. You know how it is. So as we try and look inside the cab, you can see that there is a tender deck plate, which is here, so I'm just going to move that down for a moment. And if I grab my handy-dandy flashlight, you can, and point it inside the cab, you can see that there is minimal cab detail, like there's a regulator and stuff in there, and a little place for the fireman to put his foot, and cab figures, but there's not a lot of detail in there, and I would have loved to see some painted gauges or something inside the cab, but you know, can't have all of it, and frankly, for the price I paid for this locomotive, I'm quite pleased. At least we do get the cab figures. I have lots of locomotives without cab figures. So yeah, that's the cab. So that pretty much does it for the locomotive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tender. For you rivet counters out there, there is a lot of rivets on the side of a tender, so you guys gonna have a ball with this. You see 108 painted on the tender with a nice white stripe going down the back, going down the side, which looks really nice. It's got some very nice truck detail too, which I have no idea about the trucks, so I'm not gonna say much. But you guys who do know about the trucks, the locomotive, there you go. These things are equipped with roller bearings, I think, but I couldn't tell you. And finally, on the back of the tender, well, not finally, the back of the tender, you've got a little backup light that's non-operational, a locomotive's number printed once again, separately applied grab iron to climb up and on top of the tender, another dummy couplet cut lever, more separately applied step irons down the back, and another coupler on the rear. So that's a really nice tender detail. Up on top, we've got a really nice coal load. I really like the coal load on this. I don't know why. It's the same as all my other ones, but still. And a separately applied tank tap where you can put water in. It doesn't open, unfortunately, but it's there. So before we move on to operation, I'd just like to point out that connecting the locomotive and the tender is a pain in the butt. So you have to get the locomotive and the tender on their side. This is the best way to do it. I'm going to show you guys because of the pain I had to do with. I don't know if I'm getting this in shot, but it's like this on a lot of DCC locomotives. But you take these plugs that are on the tender and you just push them into these sockets here under the locomotive. And I can't hardly see the bottom one. And then once again, just take it, put it in the socket, line all the pins up, and then just push it in. It's very simple, but it is unbelievably hard for some reason. I mean, I'm not complaining because we gotta get, pickup from the locomotive to the tender, but whatever. Alright guys, so that just about does it for the detail on this beauty. I cannot tell you guys how beautiful this thing is. Like, I don't know, I'm sure it picks up on the camera, but this thing is magnificent. But, yeah. So that pretty much does it for the detail. Now we're going to cut away and show her in operation. But I've got a bit of a surprise for operation today. We won't be running her on my layout. We'll be running her on my Model Railroad Club layout, the Neuse River Valley Model Railroad Club. Link to their website in the description. Alright, so after that accident, oh, you can hear the big boys subwoofer kicking in. So now it's tragic. I'm trying to show you the smooth the drive here, guys. I really am, but this is. That's the one I've got my eye on, the Bachmann. Come on.
My wife has one of those. What do they call that?
GoPros.
A what?
GoPro.
A GoPro?
Yes, sir. It's not. I'm recording this for my YouTube channel.
That's fantastic. I'd love to do that.
Alright, so pretty smooth driving, guys. So we're gonna go ahead, take her up around and hook her onto a train.
Well, you.
He comes by and visits my mom about every third Sunday or something like that.
It's so long. It's like back when I wanted to be cool. It's like a really long process.
That's a nice model. Who made that?
Bachmann. It's one of those Spectrum engines. Spectrum. Look up on like.
This is Jacob's home. We're trying to introduce him to some well, he was just he's a regular
Thinking home.
I just noticed
when we do the modem on this,
I'll get.
it's gonna be so long.
Yeah. You're gonna put them. You're gonna take off the caboose and like put some the intermodal cars on behind it.
That'd be a pretty long. That'd
Yeah.
be really. We got like 20 of them in there. That'd be pretty long, but that could. It's so much bigger than what it actually looks like.
Yeah. Here she comes.
Can we do it right here with the caboose on that section on this inner curve? No, he's doing that one. I'm trying to find a spot. You're getting really close to my head.
Stop paying attention again. You stopped your train too.
Dude, we brought like 8 engines. We brought like 8 engines and locomotives
Nice.
combined.
Alright guys, so that's just gonna wrap it up for the review on the 440. This probably isn't gonna be my best of my YouTube reviews, but whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.